Carved into the side of a mountain in North Napa Valley is a winery brand new, focusing on two things special with wine: symmetry and balance. Welcome to Davis Estates. Mike, thank you so much for having us here today. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm amazed at the property and shocked that you're only 5 years old. It looks like this has been here for a long, long time. Tell folks where exactly we are in relation to the valley.
Okay, so it has been here for a long, long time.
Okay.
This barn was built in 1916. The property was developed in the 1800s. I wasn't around. So we are in the North Valley of Napa Valley at the intersection of Larkmead and Silverado Trail.
Okay.
And the beautiful town of Calistoga.
Well, you obviously have built now one of the most impressive wineries we've ever seen, but that just doesn't happen overnight. So how did you get into wine?
I think it started in college because, you know, I went to Indiana University.
Okay.
Went there to...
Big wine community in Bloomington.
Huge. You know, Annie Green Springs, you know, Matus, Mad Dog 2020.
Exactly.
You know, we thought we were sophisticated when we were drinking those wines back in 1970. But they needed a discus thrower, and I was from California and was known by some people at Cal who eventually transferred to Indiana.
Okay.
And I fell in love with the state. I loved the people and ended up going to school there and getting a bachelor's. And I can teach American history, and I had a minor in business.
There's a need for that these days?
Yeah, but I love people, and I ended up getting into business and did very well in sales, and eventually started a computer company in the garage.
What was the leap, because I'm sure it had to be drastic, from Matus to world-class Cabernet?
I call it OPM.
Other people's money.
Other people's money. So you get in business and you start going out and having dinners, and you have Burgundies and Bordeaux's and Cabernets and Pinots and Cab Francs, and I couldn't go back to Mad Dog 2020 anymore. And so I developed a taste for great wines. I prefer Cabernets and Bordeaux blends, and as a result, had a pretty good wine collection, learned a lot about wine. The reality is I grew up in San Mateo, about 2 hours south of here. Sure. And we didn't have money, so we'd go camping during the summertime, and 9, 10 years old, coming up here and fishing and hunting and riding, horseback and things. I love Napa, and then, you have a date and you come up here and drink wine and go to the spas, and that's a lot more fun than riding horses.
For both of you.
In fact, my wife and I were up here 41 years ago on a date. We were coming up to Napa, and right over the hill here is Sterling. And we were having a wine and looking out over the valley unbeknownst, and it's like, wouldn't this be cool to do someday if we retire?
The timing was right.
Correct.
But this property, and I don't want to sugarcoat this barn, the barn is phenomenal, but it's just one of a half dozen or more pieces of phenomenal architecture on the property. Did you sit down and say, here's what I'm after, here's the vision I have?
Yes.
And then where did that vision originate from? Was it all of the experiences tasting Burgundy, Bordeaux, coming up here, and then you had a grand master plan in your head that needed to come out? How did all that happen?
So the property spoke to me,
right?
Because it's just this magnificent piece of property, up here on the Vaca side of the mountains.
Yep.
And so, we had to put the winery into the hillside through the view, because the Mayacamas are over there, and Mother Nature gives us a spectacular view every single day, and a sunset that's unbelievable every night. Come on in, it's understated elegance, be our guest, let us take care of you. Our feeling is our philosophy is that, wine alone is great. Wine and food is better. Wine, food, friends, and family is the best.
By an executive chef with $1 million views.
There's something that just draws you in. It's between the water and the rotation. It's just cool.
And mesmerizing. So
absolutely.
It's beautiful. Like everything here, including the wine, it's spectacular.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us. Just an amazing time with Mike Davis at this very, very special property that you actually have to see to believe. Do yourselves a favor, make an appointment at Davis Estates. Thank you so much for all your support.